Well, hi. My name is Chandra. This is Glitter 50. I haven't seen many people out there who are my age who are doing makeup like these 20 and 30-year olds, and I love makeup. I love doing it, I love wearing it, and I would just like to encourage people who are of my age to do makeup however they see fit. A friend of mine told me, you know, you should probably not wear the shimmers and the glitters because it'll accentuate your fine lines. Well, guess what? I've been on this planet for 50 years. I'm gonna have some fine lines, but I still feel beautiful wearing makeup, and I do what I want because life's too short not to. So I'm going to go ahead and get some stuff out, and then we're going to play with makeup. Okay, so for my personal preference, um, I like to use either concealer, or lately I've actually been using ColourPop's cream shadow in the shade Laurel. I've seen a lot of people use like MAC paint pots, but this is kind of a similar. I've never used MAC paint pots, but another YouTuber uses this, and it just goes on kind of like a concealer, and you put it all over your eyes. Just gives it just an even base to go on to. So forgive my nails. I tried painting them. They're chipping a little bit. So, but you see how it evens it out just a little bit so that you're not so, you don't have to cover it up all the way, but you give it a little bit of a even base so all the colors kind of pop against it. So it still has that shadow, but that's just a shadow in the lighting. It has nothing to do with, I don't have a black eye or anything. But so I just put a little bit of that on. It's a little dry, so that might be a difference, but I really like it as a base for my shadows. And then I take some sort of setting powder. Today's setting powder is Jeffree Star's translucent. I don't know what the name of it is, but I don't want to risk spilling it all over. So here we go. I'm just going to put this on. This gives it a powdery base to blend with. So several of my coworkers and my friends have, said that I'm pretty good at this. So I just thought I'd come on and see what happens. So today I'm going to use at Forest Sight, the Raw Beauty Kristi and ColourPop collaboration. Love ColourPop shadows. Love Raw Beauty Kristi. Love this palette. It's phenomenal. Like, look at those shadows. See how pretty they are? Oh, just gorgeous. Gorgeous. So I'm going to take just a little shader brush. This is the E19 from ColourPop. And I'm going to take Puffball, which is this brown shade right here. Just a little bit. Dust it off just a little. And then I'm going to run it through my crease. Now it goes on really pigmented. Really, really pigmented. But then you just blend it up. You really don't need a lot. I love these shades. See how? And I have a lot of room in between my brow and my lid, but when I open my eyes, I kind of have what I feel like is hooded eyes. My crease right here is just a little puffy, so it swallows my lid a little bit. Okay, so I'm going to take more puffball, just tap it off a little. I'm going to do the next eye. And just blend it out. There again, it's very pigmented and it looks like a lot of shadow, but you just blend it, blend it, blend it. And it'll come out. I've never done, obviously, a YouTube video before. I don't know how much editing to do. Like, I don't know. I've never done it. So we'll see how all this turns out. I'm hoping not to put the whole thing up. I'm hoping I can edit some of this out, but if it doesn't, if I just happen to go up, please forgive me for not being completely ready to do everything, but I wanted to try. So here we are trying. Try new things. It's okay. So the next color I'm going to take is this color here. It's called Fiddlehead. This one right here. Oh my goodness. When I was a kid, I lived in Vermont. I now live in the state of Washington. But as a kid, I lived in Vermont. And in Vermont, we had fiddleheads. And if you've never had a fiddlehead, it's similar to a asparagus and an artichoke. Like, that's the flavor-ish, consistency-ish. It's the best comparison, I guess. But I haven't had fiddlehead since I was 15. So it's been a day or two. Just putting this on my outer lid for now. I just want to have, I love this shade. It just gives such depth. See how it blends? Such depth in the outer corner. And I'm just getting it, the deepest part of it, closest to the lash line, and then I'm just blending it up. Now, I don't know about you guys, but my eyes tend to water a lot. And it doesn't matter if I have makeup on. It doesn't matter if I have nothing, if I just woke up. None of that matters. My eyes just water. If anybody out there has like a way to stop it, I use Visine. I take an allergy pill. I don't know what's going on. I'm just blending that into my crease color and making the outer corner the shape that I want it to be. And if it, when I come down to the end, if this is too much, I'll just clean it up with a makeup wipe. But right now, this is the way I like it. I like it to come out a little further. Then I go back over to this eye and even it up just a little bit. Because I want them both to have the same intensity. And sometimes it's a little hard to like look at one eye and then look at the other and see, but you just have to have a really good mirror that will show you, you know. So then I'm going to take just a little bit. I didn't even dip back into it, but I'm going to come back in and just bring that up just a little bit into my crease, blending it with that puffball shade. I'm going to come back over and do the same to this. Just bring it over a little bit. Give it a little depth in that crease area so when I open my eyes, it looks so much better. Okay, so then I take a color switch and I brush my brush off with that. Get rid of the color so there's no product left on here. And then I'm going to take, trying to decide if I should take this color over here, which is Old Growth, or if I should take this color here, which is Chanterelle, which is a mushroom. I think I'm going to lightly dust a little bit of Chanterelle on my lid, just so that I have a little tiny bit of a base, because the next color that I'm going to go in with, just a little more, is a shimmer color, and sometimes it doesn't have like the full color that you want it to have. So I put a little bit of a base underneath it so that it's a little bit more dense, I think is the word I'm looking for, a little bit more oomph underneath it. So now I'm going to put that on this side. Now, being that this is my first YouTube video, I just want to make sure that I'm doing something that can show you kind of how I do my makeup. I take constructive criticism real well. Please don't be rude. I will delete rude comments. I ain't got time for that. Nobody's got time for that. Okay, now see how it just evened that out and it gave it a little bit more color to it? Then I'm going to take my ring finger and I'm going to take the color Evergreen, which is this one right here. It's a really nice brown with a little gold to it, a little brown to it. And I'm just going to sweep it across my lid. These colors, these shimmers, are best applied with your finger. They just have more shine to them. They just have more oomph to them if you use your finger. You can use a brush and you can wet the brush, but see how it gives that other base color just a little, just amps it up just a little bit. Not flipping you off. It's my ring finger, not my middle finger. See the difference between the two? This one is more shiny, and then I take my other ring finger and I'll go in there and I'll do this eye. Oh, I love that color. Love, 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 love that color. See how pretty that is? A little bit more. Oof. I love those shades together. They're just so pretty. It's not quite going down on this part like I like it. but there it goes. Okay, now wipe off my fingers. And I go back in with this brush, the same brush we were using before, and just kind of blend the shades together so that you can't see any harsh lines. I'm going to do that on this side. There we go. Now, for me, I never used to use primer, setting spray. None of those things were around when I was learning how to do makeup. And in all honesty, never knew you really needed it. So today I'm using the ColourPop Pretty Fresh Hydrating Hyaluronic Primer. They have a long list of words that you're supposed to say. But I put this all over. A little bit goes a long way. I always tend to put on way too much. But I put my primer on. I let it sit for a few minutes. This has like a nice peachy smell to it, I think. I think that's what, like, I don't know if it's peach or apricot, or it's some sort of fruit smell to it. Let that sit for a few minutes, and then honestly, the foundation that I use, I get it from my kids. They have brought it to me because we don't have a Dollar Tree or a Dollar General close to us. So I've asked my daughter and my son and daughter-in-law if they could get this. This is the Believe Beauty foundation, and I use mine in soft beige. And I just take like 2 pumps, just that, on the back of my hand. And this is a brush that I got from BoxyCharm, one of their little brushes. And I like the way it just brushes the foundation onto my skin. It just, to me, makes it look good. And then I go back over it with a sponge. But it just evens out my skin tone without feeling really heavy or cakey, or, I used to take foundation and pour it on my face. Well, that's not good for anybody's pores. That's not good for, not having acne all over. So try really hard just to use a light base. I do have combo leaning a little bit oily skin, so I don't use too much products, but just enough to even everything out. I hope this is going to work out well. See, and then it just evened everything out just a little bit. You can still see some of my redness, hyperpigmentation showing through. Then I take a sponge. This is one from ColourPop. Told you I like ColourPop. They have really good stuff, and it's really affordable. You can buy it online or at Ulta, but Ulta doesn't have all of their products, so some of it you just have to order online, which during 2020 has not been an issue. I mean, everybody's ordering everything online. But see how that the sponge just kind of makes everything even out just a little bit more. Gets rid of that hyperpigmentation right there. I just love the way it makes my skin look. And then a lot of people would go over with a setting powder or something like that. I don't do that because I don't want it to look cakey. And so I just leave it like this. It's really dewy right now, but it'll settle down and it'll look so much better after it sinks into the skin a little bit. So then, wipe off the foundation. And I go into my bronzer. I take all I have. Well, I have other bronzers, but this is one of my favorites. This is the Hoola Benefit Bronzer. I just have a sample size. And I got these Alamar brushes. This is the bronzer brush. I got this in a BoxyCharm, so dust a little bit on there. And I go a little bit to warm up the complexion just a bit. Just to see a little bit of color back there. But so you can still see my friend over here. But it is what it is. We have things on our skin sometimes. Some days are better than others. So this is, I know, another ColourPop product. This is the Kathleen Lights and ColourPop blush in Lunar Has It. And this is just a Wet n Wild brush that came in a kit that I really like using it as a blush brush. That's hard to say. I just dust it on my cheeks. Give myself a little bit of smile so I can see where I want that blush to go. Now it looks really ham in this light, but here it doesn't look like I have anything on. So that's interesting. But, so this is when I try to put a little bit of color underneath. So I'm going to take an angle brush. This one is a Moda Pro brush, BMX 498 line. I have no idea. So I'm going to take Homegrown, which is this color right here. Tap it off a little bit. And I'm going to take this along my lower lash line. On both sides. This is the eye that tends to give me a little bit more problem than the other one. And I'm actually going to take this and I'm going to run it along my top line too, to give me a little bit of a base for my other eyeliner that I'm going to put on in a moment. Just gives it a little bit more definition. Okay, then I'm going to take the brush that we were using before and a little bit of the Old Growth, this color over here, and I'm going to dust that to blend it out just a little bit so it's not so harsh. But like I said, my eyes don't like to do this very often, and generally they'll just start running. See, it just doesn't quite look the same. Try it again. There we go. Then blend it out just a little bit. There we go. Okay. Done with that. Then I'm going to take 2 eyeliners. I'm going to take this one. It's called, it's ColourPop again. And it's called the Cream Gel Liner in, oh my goodness. I can't even read the. So this is in, I think the color says Rest. And I have to lean over here. I'm sorry if I'm like a little out of frame, but I have to come over here and put a little bit of this in my waterline. And this is when my eyes start to get a little bit red. This is kind of a burgundy color. See there. And then I'm going to take, this is Girlastic Precise eyeliner marker, and it's in Black Noir. But what I like is the tip of it, because I can get right close to my lash line. And put a really nice line. I don't generally do wing liner. It just doesn't look right with my eyes. But see the difference between this eye and this eye? Just that little bit of definition between the lash and the lid. See, but I have to get really close, so you can't really see what I'm doing. I guess you can. This one's a little bit thicker, so I'll go back over here. Put a little bit more on there. There. Now, what I normally would do is my brows. I happen to like the Benefit Ka-Brow. It's, I don't know if it's the little applicator that I like so much. So you take the lid off, and it's just a little like pomade type thing. And then you take the top off and the brush is inside. Then you put a little bit on your brush and you do your brows. I like to just do a little bit to fill in. Not that I don't have enough brows to begin with, but they're not as thick as I would like them to be. So, and then I bring it around to give myself a little bit more thickness. In my brows. I like the arch of my brows. This just, to me, makes my eyes look so much better, but like I have chickenpox scars, and so I like to fill in where those are. and just give myself a little bit thicker brow. Now I'm not done, so hang tight. So you can't see that side, sorry. But I need to be able to see that side, if that makes sense. But see how much more, like, see here, right there where it has a little bit of, you can see the skin. I just put a little bit more product in there and it fills it in for me. Then I put that away and I take my spoolie and I comb through, making them look more natural. Ta-da! Okay, so the next part, oh my goodness, is one of my favorites. I tend to go a little overboard, but there again, you only live once, so you might as well live it to the fullest. This is the highlighter from Ofra, and it's called Everglow. Look at those colors. I mean, they're gorgeous. So for my highlighter, I just take my brush and I swirl it on the whole thing. And then I just whoosh, rub it right here, down the center of the nose. And then I like to take it up to my eyebrows. And I'll go back over this. But I like to put it up here where my eyebrows are. I just love that shine next to my eyebrows. But look at how pretty that highlighter is. You can't see it on this side, but it's there, I promise. And then I take a smaller brush. This again is a ColourPop E20. And I'll just go into the whitest one. And I put this right in my corner, just to highlight. A little bit on this side. And yeah, I like to have it really bright on my inner corners. Then I take what's left and I go up in the brow, just a wee bit. And then this is another product that I think I got in either my BoxyCharm or it might have been an Allure beauty box. I can't remember, but I have naturally longer eyelashes, but this just makes them so much thicker and more noticeable. It's not my absolute favorite. I just ran out of my absolute favorite, but at some point I will get them. And then there are times that I'll use fake eyelashes. I'll glue them on depending on how I feel that day. Today I'm not going to. Today I'm just doing this. But see how much, I guess you can't really see. Maybe if I, nope. Hopefully I can edit this part out. I'll get better at this whole recording thing. I just have to try things out and see how it goes. Now, I don't normally use this one on my bottom lashes because it's so thick, so I'm not going to use that one today. I'm going to grab my other mascara up here. This is Pixi by Petra, and it's the Lash Lift, but it has a bigger wand, and then you can put it down, and it has a really small wand, which obviously gets into your lashes on the bottom better than a big thick wand. Okay, I just put that on there like that. I let it dry just a little bit. Normally I would do this before, but I forgot. So I take that's not the one I wanted. Again, the ColourPop Pretty Fresh Hyaluronic Acid Setting Mist. Shake it up a little. Spray in my face. And then I just have this little fan right here. There we go. Dry it up just a little, and then I take my sponge and I go over the top of everything just to set it down. Now, for lips, I haven't used a whole lot of lip products this year. Wearing masks, we really don't, but I'm not going anywhere today, so I can put some lips on. And this is the Cab Charming lip gloss, or lip liner. And I don't do this very often. But I'm just going to lightly color it. There we go. Just to line the lips a little. And then I'm going to use, again, ColourPop Luxe Liquid Lip. And this is in the Ingenue. Ingenuine, I don't know how they want to pronounce it, but take this. See, it just barely gives a tint of color. And then I'm going to take their Luxe lip gloss, and this is in the shade Renaissance. Now, I don't like to take it and put it over the liquid lips. I take my finger and dust it off. And put it on like that. So that way I'm not getting the liquid lipstick on this. It keeps its regular color. And that does it for today. I'm going to close out the video this way. I hope you like this video. I'm going to be trying to do some more. like I said, this is my first one, so I'm not really sure how it's all going to turn out. If you like it, please subscribe and give it a thumbs up. Here in the Northwest, we have a radio station, 98.9 The Bull, and Fitz in the Morning is one of the people that I listen to all the time, and he has this saying that I would like to share with you. Who's better than you? Nobody. Don't let anybody tell you that you can't do something or that you shouldn't do something, because life's too short. If you want to, do it. And this is why I am doing this now, because I want to put it out there that anybody can put whatever kind of makeup they want on their face, and hopefully y'all like this. So I hope you have a great day. See you later.